Darren Till, you asked for this fight, you wanted Wonder Boy, you brought the octagon to Liverpool, these people are here for you. What does it feel like to get that victory on your win column?
Get in! Yes!
It was a very strategic fight. Did you expect it to go the distance? Did you think it was going to be like that all the way through?
I did, yeah. I played games. I know Stephen thinks I'm an aggressive fighter. I am, but I'm a very calm and collected aggressive fighter. So, in all my life of fighting, right, Dan, I've been fighting since I was 13. I've never fought a striker like that. So, I had to use every part of my brain to figure them out, because I couldn't, and still in the end, you know, one lucky left hand maybe edged it, but it was like that. Amazing. But all them doubters, yes, saying what now? Now! Who the is doubting me now? No one!
So now while you're fired up, it seems like the best time to ask you, who does the gorilla want next?
Everyone and anyone, I don't care. I'm not scared of anyone. No one. Yeah, people asking me, you might deserve a title shot after this fight. No one won't. I haven't beat anyone. I need to beat all these. They're all getting it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the gorilla, Darren Till.
Emotions running high, as you would expect.
I'm doing this video because I feel like you should do it. I should do it now, the right times now. I'm not retiring, this is not a retirement speech. I'm 29, that'd be stupid to retire, but you know, I'm on a bit of a losing skid at the moment, I really am. I'm not finding me right ways and stuff like that. It's crazy because, you know, when I'm in the gym sparring with all these best guys around the world, I'm in my element, and then when I step there in the octagon, I just can't seem to put things together. Then I have moments, like in the second round, where I'm untouchable, but then, you know, certain things happen, and I just want to say to everyone there, whether you love me or hate me, I'm sorry. I tried to come in and put a show on. I never cut no corners. I do really train. Maybe I train too much. I train like a man demented. The past 13 weeks I've given me all, and I've always given me all to this sport. So now I don't know what to do properly, but I'm just gonna I think I'm gonna have a little bit of time off from the UFC. I don't know, and just rethink stuff.
Darren Till has just taken on Dricus du Plessis in the main card of UFC 282, and the outcome doesn't matter. Till has now lodged himself in the same category as fighters like Kelvin Gastelum, Kevin Lee, and many others, summed up by the infamous phrase, "They had potential." Sit back, relax, and let's take a look at the failed career of Darren Till. Disclaimer: this video is not meant to claim that Till is a bad fighter or that his career overall is a failure. Instead, this video illustrates how Till's career fell short of the hype and did not live up to expectations whatsoever. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into the video. Picture this: you're 29 on a losing streak the likes your career has never seen before. You're being fed to up-and-comers that the promotion you work for eagerly wants to see take your place and take whatever scraps of fame you have left. Nobody believes in you, and this next fight could save or mark the demise for everything that you've worked for. This is Darren Till, but this wasn't always his grim reality. Let's go back to 2018. Lucid Dreams was popping, Avengers Infinity War was breaking the box office, Fortnite was reaching its peak popularity, and on May 27th, 2018, the 16-0 prospect Darren Till was set to face the veteran Stephen Thompson. Till's brash attitude, his willingness to fight anyone, and his entertaining fighting style made him a hyped-up fan favorite who was quickly ascending the welterweight ranks. He was as close to being on top of the division as you could be without being champion. And when the time came, he beat the veteran Stephen Thompson in a controversial unanimous decision.
Let's talk about the main event. The internet's blowing up right now. Everybody's debating, you know, how'd you have it scored?
My phone's blowing up. Everybody's texting me. Robbery, Till won, this and that. So it's one of after the fight, they all looked at me and said, "Who do you think won?" I said, "I have no idea." Every round was so close. You know, when you have rounds that are so close, you almost sort of lose track of scoring and trying to figure out who won. It was a tough fight to score.
This was only Till's 6th fight in the UFC, and he was already one fight away from facing then welterweight champion Tyron Woodley. Even at the time, fans noticed that Till was being pushed incredibly fast in the promotion due to his star potential. Something UFC president Dana White would go on to admit was a mistake. If you know anything about Dana White, you know he's not the type of guy to admit he was wrong publicly. So this should show you just how horribly things would go for Till. After picking up KO wins over Wendell de Oliveira and fan favorite Donald Cerrone, after various decision wins, after catching the public's attention and becoming a fan favorite, it was time. Till had started his professional fighting career, and 17 fights later, he was fighting for the welterweight championship of the UFC. On September 8, 2018, it was time. Till faced then welterweight champion Tyron Woodley, and the experience difference was apparent. In the second round, Woodley would pull in a punch from Till and blast him with an overhand, flooring him. He would then get on top of Till and chase a submission. Woodley was far from a submission specialist, with a career submission attempt average of 0.4 in 27 fights, so it was odd seeing Till's lack of defense while on the ground, practically handing Woodley the submission victory. Yeah, Till was hurt, and that could be the reason, but his lack of experience defending himself on the ground clearly pointed towards his lack of experience in the octagon. While the fight was going on, fans were rooting for Till, but as it transpired, fans and critics alike realized that maybe Till was in over his head, and him fighting for the championship at that time was entirely too premature. I would have to agree, because I know a thing or two about premature. While supporters of Till were disappointed, this loss was understandable, and we assumed that since the hype had settled, Till would take his time and turn things around the right way, preferably fighting someone around his experience level. And boy, were we wrong. You see, Till ran into an unstoppable freight train of destiny that was the rise to fame of Jorge Masvidal. At the time, Jorge had a combined 49 professional fights compared to Till's 20 professional fights. So Till obviously didn't realize that maybe this fight was a little out of his league in terms of experience. So on March 16th, 2019, Darren Till would get brutally KO'd by Jorge Masvidal in the second round. Till was now on a 2-fight losing streak. Before the Masvidal fight, there were rumors that Till was going to move up in weight class. After Till's knockout loss to Masvidal, the time seemed better than ever for Till to move up in weight class and get a fresh start, and eventually, it was done. Till would move up to middleweight and was scheduled to face Kelvin Gastelum. On November 2nd, 2019, Darren Till would defeat middleweight contender Kelvin Gastelum by split decision, effectively rekindling the hype and optimism for Darren Till's career. Till faced adversity, and he responded. That was beginning to arise for the trajectory of Till's career, and he responded correctly, showing us that he was here to stay and that he can compete with the best of the middleweight division. Well, that's what we thought at least. On July 26, 2020, Till would be defeated by Robert Whittaker via unanimous decision. Despite the decision, the fight was very entertaining and competitive, so Till didn't lose much stock in this fight. Besides, Robert Whittaker beats everybody, except for Adesanya that one time. Yeah, that was bad. I think he beat Israel that second fight though. What do you guys think? Did the judges get it right, or did Whittaker get robbed? Anyways, Till lost, but it was by no means a bad loss. So where did it go wrong for Till? Well, for starters, Till seemingly pulled out of every fight that was a stylistically bad matchup for him. It seemed like the guy couldn't help but get injured. I was worried that the guy would snap his ankle just getting on the scale to weigh in. On December 5th, 2020, Till was scheduled to face Jack Hermansson, but he pulled out due to an undisclosed injury. Okay, one time's fine, right? Well, Till was then scheduled to face Marvin Vettori on April 10th, 2021, and drumroll please, he pulled out again, for no reason. Okay, maybe a broken collarbone is a good reason, but still. Till would then face Derek Brunson. This fight is a whole other topic in itself, so we'll get to that later. After the travesty that was the Derek Brunson fight, Till would pull out again, while scheduled to face Jack Hermansson. Again, due to an undisclosed injury. Again. Yes, I get it, injuries happen, but it just seemed like coincidentally, every time Till had an unfavorable matchup, he would pull out. His middleweight venture seemed promising at first, but it has just been riddled with canceled fights and one disappointing loss we're going to get to. Something I found interesting about Darren Till pulling out so much is the competitors that would step in. Hear me out. Till was supposed to fight Jack, but he had to pull out. So Kevin Holland replaced him. But then Kevin Holland had to pull out. And then he got replaced by Marvin Vettori. Then Till was scheduled to face Marvin Vettori. Till pulled out once again, and then he was replaced by Kevin Holland. Again. But this time, Kevin didn't have to pull out. Till then was scheduled to face Jack Hermansson. Again. And he pulled out. Again. Man, all this pulling out these guys are doing, Nick Cannon can learn something. Point is, the middleweight division was looking like a circus, and it all started with Darren Till. This wasn't what fans had in mind when Till announced his move to middleweight. He almost pulled out again against Dricus du Plessis because of an eye poke. This guy needs to train with bubble wrap or something. Now, here's where it gets really disappointing. I've been avoiding it until this point, but let's talk about it. Darren Till versus Derek Brunson. After pulling out of 2 fights in a row, it was finally time for Till to make his return to the octagon, and on September 4th, 2021, Till would give up against Brunson in the 3rd round. On the record it says submission, and I generally don't consider people tapping to be giving up, but Darren Till didn't tap because he was in an unescapable position and there was no point to continue. No, that isn't what happened. The UFC fed Darren Till a 37-year-old man who looks like he's trudging through snow when he's standing on the feet, and loves the technique of throwing his chin at his opponents while he wails his arms at them. This was meant to be a rebound for Till, and many thought he was going to knock Brunson out. This was far from the case, and Till showed us his horrible takedown defense and his terrible bottom game, where he just lies on his back and clings to his opponent for dear life. Yeah, you guys thought I was going to make a joke about him lying on his back, didn't you? Get your mind out of the gutter. This performance was disappointing from Till to say the least, and I think the person who can best illustrate just how frustrating this loss was is MMA Guru. Let's see what he thought of Till's comeback performance.
Did you know Till will be the guy to... Yeah, I know. Till will be the guy to ruin it tonight. I bet you... No, I don't even want to say the rest, but I can see Till just deading the whole... I can see Till dead in the whole vibe by being KO'd or something, but I think he's going to win. We'll see how it goes.
2 hours later.
To the body, good front kick to the body from Till. Good 2 from Till. He caught Brunson. Good 2 from Till again. And another one. Let's go, Till. Don't jump a guillotine, I swear to God. Okay, good. Stuff it. Into mount. Brunson in mount. Till gives up his back. Brunson, no, he was just about to win as well. Are you dumb? There's no way. Don't tell me he loses. He was just wait, what? Don't tap that fast. Okay, the fight's over. Brunson wins. He was about to get schooled, man. He actually fell into mount and then just ended the fight. That's so sad.
Getting caught is one thing. Being knocked out with a random punch or being stuck in a submission you can't escape is understandable, but giving your back up and then tapping before the choke is even cinched in is a whole other thing. Maybe my expectations for Till were too high, but it seemed off that someone who adamantly asserts that they really want to be champion would give up like that. It just threw me and other fans of Till off. After this disappointing performance, Till will pull out of one more fight, and now we're back at where we were at the start of the video. Till's no longer undefeated, he's no longer an up-and-coming prospect. He's now the one being fed to the up-and-comer. One fight before, he was being fed someone older that he can get a win on and move up in the division. 4 fights ago, he was an undefeated prospect challenging for a title. Now he's fighting for his career. You could tell by the competition he's facing that he's in hot water. A loss here to the hungry up-and-comer, and Darren Till may never fight for a title again. At the time of this recording, Darren Till's only 29. I'm not saying it's impossible for him to come back if he loses, but it would be a miracle if such thing could happen. Even if he does win, seeing Till's performance against Derek Brunson really makes me worry about his chances against higher level competition in the middleweight division. Granted, the very top of the middleweight division isn't shrouded with wrestlers like Derek Brunson, but Till seemingly doesn't have the fight IQ or the heart to keep up with people like Alex Pereira or Israel Adesanya. People were also making a big deal about Till being out of shape. I won't touch on that too much because we don't know how that guy trains, but hopefully his time with Khamzat Chimaev helps him out, because that guy's a beast. This video was written and recorded before his fight with Dricus du Plessis, but now I'm going to put a clip of my thoughts and my reactions to his performance here before I wrap up the video. So, Till just lost to Dricus du Plessis via 3rd round rear naked choke, pretty similarly to how he lost to Derek Brunson, and I can't lie, I'm disappointed. The MMA fan in me wanted Till to win and have this amazing comeback story, but the content creator figured him losing would boost views because of the perfect timing, I'm not gonna lie. Regardless, Till lost, and I think it's safe to say it's over. He showed his inability to deal with wrestling and showed that he just doesn't have the skill to compete with the top ranks anymore. Dricus du Plessis landed 100% of his attempted takedowns, but before this fight, he had a takedown success average of 16%. I feel like ever since the Masvidal KO, Till hasn't been the same. We have just witnessed one of the biggest falls from grace in real time. On your screen is what Darren Till should have looked up before his fight. Here are the steps needed to sprawl a takedown according to ChatGPT, because instead of sprawling, Till would try and throw the guy over him.
To perform a sprawl and a takedown, you'll want to start by facing your opponent and keeping your hips low. As your opponent goes for the takedown, quickly spread your legs apart and push your hips back to create distance between you and your opponent.
That Masvidal loss really changed him. Speaking of Jorge Masvidal, I also have a video of his fall from grace. I'll put it at the end of the video. Thanks for watching. This has been the downfall of Darren Till.